Hey everyone, it's Ashley here. Today I am going to be going into a very sensitive, very highly sensitive graphic subject. So if you are sensitive to this subject, please do not watch this video. I'm going to be talking to y'all today about something that I have suffered with ever since I can remember. So here we go. I have suffered from miscarriages, wow, since I can remember. I mean, the only other time I've been pregnant is with my husband. You know, he and I are the only ones that actually engaged in that. Anyway, that's not important. First time I feel pregnant was in 2015. It was my husband and I's first date. Well, we met each other before, and we decided not to talk anymore, but y'all know that story already of how I met my husband and what happened. Go back on my YouTube channel if you haven't seen that story yet. But anyway, I got pregnant on our first date, seeing each other, again. We did something that night, and a few weeks later, I started having bleeding. I knew it wasn't my time of the month yet, so I told him, I was like, hey, take me to the hospital. Told my mom and my dad, I was like, hey, I'm going to the hospital, I'm bleeding irregularly, and they're like, okay. So I went to the hospital, and they tested me through blood and did sonogram, and I found out I was pregnant. This was 4 weeks later after that incident. Of course, we had sex after that time. But he pulled. Most time he pulled. But back to the story. So as time went on, I took care of myself. I signed up for pregnancy Medicaid and all that other stuff. And I went to the doctor. Everything was fine at first, Like, the baby's fine, the heartbeat's fine, the baby's doing good, all that good stuff. And one day, this is when I went to go to get my sonogram. Hush! Sorry about that, guys. My son does not behave. He wants attention all the time. But anyways, it was my time to get my first sonogram for the baby. And I was all excited, but my husband taught me how to go to work. So I went by myself. Still hard for me to talk about this day. I went. I was so excited, you guys. I was going to get to see the baby that he and I created together. And the baby was up on the screen. Everything looked good. The baby wasn't moving. And they told me I was right at 16 weeks. And the doctor said, oh my gosh, hold on. And he went and got another ultrasound technician. And they were both looking, and they told me, they said, hold on 1 minute, let me call your OB. And I'm like, okay, what's wrong? Turns out the baby passed away in my womb. They couldn't figure out the reason why she passed away. It was a little girl. She passed away in my womb. I don't know why. But she did. And they had to give me some medication to pass her myself. So they gave me pills to take at home to contract. I just took one. It was so hard. Because I never got to meet her, got to hear her heartbeat, or hold her. But she was so beautiful. That same day, I got a DNC. They helped me. They helped me get her out. They get a DNC. I saw her, and she was beautiful. I mean, she was only 16 weeks along, but I loved her with all my heart. And just holding her was so hard. Because I didn't get to see her eyes open. I never got to hear her voice. Or see who she was going to be. And that was the most hardest thing I ever went through in my life. Sorry. Well, let's get happy here. About a month and a half later, I found out I was pregnant again, and this is with my now almost 3-year-old Easton. I was so scared. I didn't even tell my husband that I was pregnant, and he found the pregnancy test in the trash, and he was like, "Why didn't you tell me that you're pregnant?" I didn't want to tell him because I was scared. I just told him I didn't know. I just wanted to be sure. So I went to my OB. They told me congratulations. They told me to be very careful. So I stopped exercising. I stopped doing everything. I just focused on my pregnancy. Well, I had him 2 months early. Y'all know my labor story from that. If y'all don't, go check out that video. But anyway, after that, I've fallen pregnant 6 times after that. You know, even though I was on birth control, I still got pregnant 6 times. All miscarriages because I didn't know I was pregnant. But yeah. I've had a total of 7 miscarriages in my life. But the first one, which was a missed miscarriage, was the most horrific thing I've ever went through in my life. And miscarriages are not something to joke about. Pregnancy is not something to joke about because women suffer with infertility every single day. And having a baby is not something to take for granted. So keep that in mind. But yeah, those are my miscarriage stories. The other 6, I was just on birth control. I never knew I was pregnant because I was on birth control. You know, I did my daily life stuff and all that, and I still got pregnant. But, you know, with my son, Brantley, my 6-month-old, well, he's 7 months old now, I was off birth control. I stopped taking it, you know, and, no, and, like, my pregnancy was good with him. No complications. I was actually induced. But y'all know that story. So anyways, yeah, that's my miscarriage story. Just know if anyone else is suffering with miscarriages, you're not alone. Just hang in there, mama. You'll have a baby. And you'll get to hold your baby one day.